Hey doers! Let's talk in this video about the power of compounding interest and how you can incorporate it within your personal finances. Moreover, you're going to find out answers to these questions. What are the criteria that determine the power of compounding? Also, what are the 3 most important recommendations on how to get most of it? And the best last part will be a 1 penny strategy question. So stick with me to the end. For this reason, today's topic belongs to the wealth stage called Control Personal Finances. To clarify the fact of the Path VC channel, I talk and write about topics related to 7 wealth stages. In other words, I transform your mindset to a higher level within the 7 wealth stages of life. You may ask, why 7 stages? The answer is very simple. I've been obsessed with creating wealth building and well-being strategies to find the right balance. And while living for almost 10 years abroad, working for digital agencies and a financial institution, I discovered the pattern of life stages. Specifically and logically, 7 of them have become a formula for the direction of personal growth. Therefore, the term 7 wealth stages of life. Listen, there was a time when I realized I don't have skills on how to control finances and how money works. So I had to learn it from the ground. And eventually, it's been formulated like one of the wealth stages called Control Personal Finances. That being said, controlling personal finances is not a mystery because it's learnable. But together with the power of compound interest, it may have a big impact on your financial future and literacy. To transition smoothly into this topic, it's important to mention again that the first step to accumulating wealth is definitely developing a PYF or Pay Yourself First habit. After all, I talked about it in my earlier video. And it leads me in the same way to the fact that while holding income with your edit skills, afterward, a question is where to invest this money. Even though, always remember, invest means after you've developed an emergency account and established a PYF habit. Broadly speaking, one of the best options is to find reliable higher returning asset classes and let it grow with the power of compounding interest. And as a result, I created this video on this topic. But before we get started, now is the do time to take action, to pat the subscribe button with the bell icon to get notified. Because every week you will receive 1 proven strategy within the 7 wealth stages of life. With this in mind, let's talk about the power of compounding interest with 1 penny strategy. Let's dive in. To begin with, in my previous video, I touched slightly on what is simple and compound interest. You can watch it on the top right corner with the name 11 Basic Personal Finance Terms. But let's broaden this topic today. As I have noted a few questions at the beginning of this video, let's dive deeper into them and understand the 8th wonder of the world, which is compounding interest. In the first place, what is compounding interest? In fact, Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. To clarify this truth, I have heard most of the time, and you may have heard the same thing, that thinking about interest is only about loans and debts. While it may be true, it only gives bad belief in poor and middle class thinking because they have programmed us to believe it. But on the other hand, interest can work superficially well in your favor. Because compound interest is simply said earning interest on your interest. Nothing else, nothing more. For now, let's put it into practice with the simple following example. Let's say you have $1,000 sitting on 10% annual interest. By the end of the year, your balance will be $1,100. After that, in the second year, you earn a 10% annual interest on your end balance of $1,100. So, you end up with $1,210. Now, look at the power of compounding interest over 30 years with the same numbers and logic as described previously. Your total compound interest will end up with $16,449. Then again, you earn interest on your interest, which causes a snowball effect. Isn't it fascinating? But to reap all benefits, you must understand fundamental criteria that determine the power of compounding interest. Without a doubt, firstly, is the compound interest rate or rate of interest. In our previous example, it is 10% annually. In other words, the amount you earn on your investment within 1 year. Now, the second criteria is the time duration. I believe you've already sensed from the pictures earlier that the longer you keep your initial balance with the power of compound interest, the larger your wealth will be. Remember, time plays an enormous role in this strategy. That is to say, if you have invested $10,000 over 10 years with a 10% annual compound interest rate, your final investment value will be $25,937. But if you stretch it over 30 years, you will end up with $174,495. It is a significant difference, isn't it? In the third place, not only compound interest rate and time duration, but also your tax rate determines the power of compounding interest. Of course, you will always end up with more money when you pay little taxes or don't have to pay taxes at all. As a matter of these three criteria, I encourage you to open the compound interest calculator, plug the numbers, study it, and take action. After all the above mentioned criteria vary significantly, and it depends on what type of investments you choose. It could be stocks, high interest saving accounts, treasury securities, bonds, REITs, rental properties, or even some cryptocurrencies with compound interest. To conclude this video, compound interest might be daunting. For this reason, I want you to always keep in mind following 3 must-have rules to get maximum out of the power of compounding interest. In the first place, commit as soon as possible to invest even a small amount of money in order to start accumulating wealth. Second, build self-discipline. That means always pay yourself first and contribute to your nest egg bucket whenever a penny comes into your pocket. Lastly, you must be patient and commit to your financial goals. It's not about getting rich quick. Remember, the power of compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. Now, if you should remember just one thing from this video, get this. In order to control personal finances, it's crucial to focus attention on how the power of compounding interest can serve you to multiply money and accumulate wealth. Because the sooner you commit, the greater your positioning will be. And finally, it is a big why you must take action now with this 1 penny question strategy. Listen carefully. If I gave you 2 options for the next 30 days, which one would you choose? Either 1 million in cash or a single penny that doubles in value each day. What would be your answer? Ponder on it and tell us in the comment below. And as a reminder, gently pat the like button to give our video more exposure and love from the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe together with the bell notification, because every week you will receive a video within the 7 wealth stages of wealth. Because I want you to become a doer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.